Okay, so John McCain has made a proposal to offer a prize of $300 million to whomever can invent the battery of the future. I believe it needs to be 30% more efficient than the batteries we have today, and there's probably, I think, some other criteria. This is an election year gimmick. This is not a serious energy policy proposal, and let's think about this for a second, because it appears that the McCain campaign hasn't. The first point that needs to be made is that if you invent a battery that's 30% more efficient than the ones we currently have and meets the other criteria mentioned, you don't need a $300 million pot of gold at the end of the rainbow from the U.S. federal government. You will hold the patent to some of the most lucrative technology on the planet. If you're a corporation, you will be selling these batteries hand over fist. You don't need a prize. You don't need a $300 million prize for this as an incentive to create this kind of battery. The incentive is already there. The incentive is not the problem. The problem is we need certain basic scientific research. We need certain technological breakthroughs that would make this kind of battery possible. So might I suggest that instead of holding out a prize of $300 million at the end of the rainbow, why don't we spend the money up front to support the research and development necessary to make this kind of battery possible? I mean, it just makes sense to me. There's a lot of basic science that needs to be done at the university level and at the research institute level, and that kind of research requires money. If you really want to get the battery of the future, you need to fund the research up front to make it possible for the breakthroughs to happen. And then the final point I would make is this. When progress is made in research and when progress is made in science, it is a collaborative effort, meaning that researcher A makes a discovery and publishes his or her findings in the appropriate journals, and researcher B reads the journal and then finds a way to improve on it, or maybe they have something else to add to the discussion. The research happens faster when the researchers are talking to each other, when they're communicating with each other, when they're sharing their findings, when they're publishing their findings. Now, if you create this $300 million carrot that goes to the person who crosses the finish line first, you have just created a huge incentive for researchers not to share information with each other. So to summarize, you're spending $300 million where you don't need to spend it, because whoever can create this battery is going to be rich and going to become rich. You're not putting the money where you do need it, in the basic science and research. And you're throwing a $300 million monkey wrench in the whole process of making the kind of scientific progress that would be necessary in the first place. You're blowing money, you're not spending money where you should spend it, and you're slowing down the research. This is, on its face, an idiotic idea. This is not a serious energy policy proposal. This is an election year gimmick, and it's an insult to the intelligence of American voters. If this is the kind of thing that's going to pass as energy policy, then we all might as well just get on eBay and place our orders for horse-drawn carriages right now.